Responsiveness. The next question in my motivation flower pivots around responsiveness. The question is, are you a giver or receiver? Asked Frank. Before you can ask me what I am, I will tell you that I have been both. The strange thing is that I have probably given more to the people outside of my own family and taken more from those closest to me. Lily closed her eyes and steadily shook her head. Isn't that always the way? People forget their priorities and take advantage or ignore those that they know will give them the unconditional love and support. Frank looked downcast. Lily thought that she could detect his steely blue eyes welling up. Lily, I can only say that now I wish my priorities were straight all the time. If you're thinking about Lily, aren't you? Yes, it is strange. When I was young, I thought that providing for the family was the most important objective. The more money, the better, as this would mean that my family would have a better lifestyle. Lily and I agreed to assume traditional roles. She would stay home and I would be the breadwinner. The problem was that I entered the business world just as companies were decentralizing leadership. Consequently, all kinds of new middle management opportunities opened up. Leadership or management style which promoted efficiency and effectiveness consumed corporate culture. Moreover, for those of us who were vying for these positions, competition was at an all-time high. Companies promised advancement and loyalty to those willing to emulate an intense, productive work ethic, often to the detriment of an employee's personal life. Our egos were fanned as we sacrificed in the name of company profits. Since long hours of overtime kept us at the office, many of us were sucked into the workaholic mentality of corporate devotions. Just by virtue of the amount of time alone that we freely gave to the company, many of us started to lose sight of our real family. We would get accolades from the office, dodge the family problems and tensions which our wives were coping, and receive all kinds of affirming recognition in society as the successful white-collar managers. We had become the barons of corporate territory. We had prestige and power. We were able to avoid emotional family issues and exclusively deal with what we thought was logic and tidiness of efficiency and effectiveness. The funny thing was, although we seemed to be avoiding relationships, much of our time was consumed with corporate politics. It almost sounds religious, interrupted Lily. Yes, it was. Many of us became obsessed with our achievements in the corporate world. Lily would have to endure my many late dinners, single parenting, last-minute cancellations, and countless hours of office soap opera analysis. When it came to the homestead, I would give some superficial attention to some weekly events. As far as Olivia was concerned, I managed to connect with her on weekends. We always got along well, partly because our personalities are similar, and partly because I was a novelty, given her mother did all the discipline and troubleshooting of the daily issues. I guess you would say I was like a Disney dad, but we were not divorced. You know, for all those years, Lily was always patient and never complained. Then after Olivia moved out for school and subsequently work, Lily ended up with breast cancer. The day I heard the news, it was like a ton of bricks fell on my head. I was in shock. It suddenly hit me that Lily could be gone. My foundation, my support, the love of my life might be gone. Then the guilt settled in as I questioned myself as to how much support I gave her. At first I rationalized I gave her everything her heart desired. After spending hours with her at appointments and treatments, we could talk. I began to question my priorities. I had given my family all the money and the prestige that they could want, but I hadn't given them what they and I really needed. attention. Lily had given to me endlessly, while I took all I could get. I was so wrapped up in my work ego, I forgot about my role as husband and father. As fast as these doubts surged, I was quick to dismiss them. It pains me to say this, but I sometimes wonder if I was a partial cause of her illness. Frank's voice started to quiver as he quickly looked away and up at the sky, hoping to keep any tears from splashing over his stinging lower lids. Lily's heart ached for his pain and guilt. She knew that he was a man who thought he had acted his whole life out of love and service to his family. The problem was he rationalized much of his behavior to justify his own ego and need for fulfillment. He realized this too late. Did you ever talk to Lily about your guilt, Frank? Frank turned and looked over to Lily with agonizing eyes. Yes, it was the night she died. It was tough. She was heavily medicated. She was hallucinating from the medication. Funny, when I think about it now, she would tell me about all the flowers in a garden. In between moments of deep sleep, she would describe infinite details on what they felt like, how they smelled, and their beautiful, vibrant colors. She would also speak of flittering and fluttering around this enchanted flowerland. Then, periodically, she would be lucid enough and we would manage to squeeze in a few moments of us in the present. It was in one of these moments that she voluntarily said that she forgave me. Strange, because I always spoke about how I should have been home more. I certainly conveyed guilt, but I never had the guts to ask her for forgiveness. Then in a quiet moment, infinitely loving Lily could see I needed to be forgiven. Her ego did not need the satisfaction that I asked for forgiveness. No, with her abundance mentality, she didn't need me to keep score. Her unconditional love embraced me. Amazing woman. Oh, how I wish I could make it up to her. I wish she was here to enjoy the benefits of retirement. Frank looked down at Lily and saw an intriguing sight. At Lily's chest, a velvety white, a red glowing dot about 1 centimeter started to grow. In seconds, this dot had grown so that Lily was encircled by white light. It appeared that her heart was literally opening for Frank. At the same time, Frank felt warmth around his chest. It felt like his heart was opening for this tiny garden creature. For a minute, he felt a euphoric energy, understanding, and love exchange between them. Gently, the feeling dissipated, leaving Frank with a sense of awe and wonder. Oh, Lily, I think you felt my pain. You felt my love. Lily didn't say a word, but knowingly smiled back. They sat for a while in silence. Finally, Frank spoke. Lily, let's get back to my initial point of whether I'm a giver or receiver. Over the years, I've watched people who are givers, and I've determined that they are exuding 11 key characteristics. These all stem from love and are based in sharing and understanding and humility. So you're saying that these 11 elements fit under one of these 3 headings? Yes. A giving person continuously shares with others through acts of kindness and the volunteering of time. In addition, a giving person maintains what Stephen Covey refers as an abundance mentality, where there is no worry that there is not enough to go around. On the contrary, this person always believes that there will be enough to be shared, so there's no need to act out of fear. So a giving person is kind, volunteers, has an abundance mentality. This person sounds like they keep a positive attitude, summed up Lily. Yes, they are understanding people. They demonstrate this through their consistent ability to show empathy, accepting, and maintaining openness to others. People with heart. Frank pulled out the next page. Take a look at my heart diagram. You're so right. Also, givers also always show humility by being thankful and showing gratitude towards others, rather than entitlement. Moreover, they place great emphasis on the sense of service to others by being loyal, showing honor and respect. So, Frank, these giving people sound secure in themselves. They are highly responsive people. Yes, Lily, you are right.